What's up, everybody? Welcome back to more Twin Wrestle Pod. This will be our draft 2024 part 2 video. And we're going to be talking about tonight's pool for Monday Night Raw. We got the pool for Friday night last week, but we'll review that in our next video. So we're just going to knock out these predictions. So let me pull up the draft pool at the moment. All right, man. Got it pulled up. So the pool reads as such. We have Braun Strowman, DIY, Apollo Crews, Bronson Reed, Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, CM Punk, the Creed Brothers, and Ivy Now, Damage Control, Drew McIntyre, The Final Testament, Imperium, The Judgment Day, Caden Carter and Katana Chance, Kevin Owens, Legado del Fantasma, Naomi, Natalia, New Catch Republic, The New Day, Odyssey Jones, Shinsuke Nakamura, Tegan Nuts, Bobby Lashley, Street Profits, and B-Fab, Tiffany Stratton, Rey Mysterio, Carlito, well, pretty much all the LWO, Jade Cargill, and I think that's it. I forget the tag team, the tag team from NXT who came up there. I forget their damn name. The dudes with the long blonde hair and the black hair. I forget their names. But there's also in the draft pool as well. This draft pool it's okay. It's interesting. I think a lot more people in this draft pool will be moving shows. I'll say so myself. But let's start out with Braun Strowman. Where do you think Braun Strowman goes?
Monday Night Raw.
Oh, you got him going Monday Night Raw? Okay, alright. I got him going to Friday Night SmackDown. Why you say Raw?
Strowman?
Yeah.
Probably the pairing back up with Ricochet, probably. Well, never mind. I forget they probably doing the Uncle Howdy thing. So maybe back on SmackDown with Uncle Howdy then. Well, Uncle Howdy's not even. It just depends. It depends on what they do.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
I say SmackDown though. I say SmackDown. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be. He'll be a babyface from the start, but he'll turn into a heel once he get back. DIY. I think DIY goes to SmackDown. Just because they have been on Raw since they've been together and they lost almost every big match. So at this point, what is it for them else for them to do on Monday Night Raw? So I say they go to SmackDown. Try to look with A-Town Down Under.
Right.
What do you say?
Say it again.
I say they go to SmackDown. DIY.
DIY. I say they stay on Raw.
Okay.
I mean, because if you move them, you got to move Candice and Indy. They still developing the story there, and there's a developing story there with Tommaso. So I think they stand on Raw.
Okay. All right. Apollo Crews. Now, I've been a proponent of that since he got called up last year. I think he is one of the guys who should have stayed in NXT. I guess it was foolish of me to think they was going to do something with him when he got called up, got drafted from NXT to Raw. But that's on me. So I say for this instance, just draft him back to NXT and let him go down there to where he'd be able to be a challenger for a Trick Williams or just to help further develop the younger talent in NXT at this point. Instead of him being sparingly used on Monday Night Raw or being used to put over somebody else like Andrade, like he was a few weeks ago when Andrade returned. So I'll say if not SmackDown, definitely NXT. But if it's me, I'll say NXT for Apollo Crews.
Um, I think he's just a utility guy anyway. So probably, let's see the mid card on. Probably the mid card on Raw. to be honest. So I'll keep him on Raw here.
Okay. You what like talking about for like the IC strap like that?
I get, but just to put people over too. And plus, you got Braun Breaker on Raw, so he's gonna need people to smash, and I think Apollo will probably be one of those guys.
Okay. All right. I mean, I think you can get him. I don't know if anything. I say SmackDown just because you can have Logan Paul beat him like squash, or you can have a match with him and Carmelo Hayes. I don't know, something like that.
Logan Paul already don't do weekly shows, so
Yeah, I know. I just threw it out there. But
yeah,
for Carmelo Hayes, I'll say maybe SmackDown. But if it's me, he goes back to NXT. Big Bronson Reed. Now, this is one for me where I think he will go to SmackDown as well. Even though we know he has the program with Sami Zayn coming up, like they've been teasing it for a while. So who's to say he don't fight Sami Zayn tonight on Raw and lose, and then be drafted to SmackDown? Who's to say that? We don't know. But if he does not have that, I say he might as well stay on Raw. But I get Bronson Reed moving to SmackDown though.
I'm gonna keep him on Raw. I'm just trying to like put a Booker hat on here and try to see where he would be within the next year before the next draft. And I think it's a better. I mean, he can compete against Cody on SmackDown for the world title, but I can also see him on Raw competing for the IC strap against Sami Zayn. I don't know about winning it, but having somebody for Sami Zayn to fight. I mean, but if he does leave, that'll free up some more time for somebody else in the mid card. So it just depends. It just depends. If Gunther stays on Raw, then I would ship him to SmackDown.
Yeah. All right. Now this don't lead into my DIY pick. Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. I say they move to SmackDown with DIY. You get that group of the way, which it seems like they're going to be teasing, with Ciampa refusing to shake hands with R-Truth and them last week. So he might be a proposed heel turn. Indy and Candice already don't turn heel. So why not give him a new fresh coat of paint and put them all on SmackDown? That's what I say.
I said Raw.
Okay. All right. Well, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, where you see them going?
Probably staying on Raw, if anything. Need another tag. I mean, Chelsea's entertaining, so I can't see Doudrop and Nia Jax being on the same brand. So I would keep them two separate. Even though they might not be on the same stature, but they two count as quote unquote powerhouses. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I had them going to SmackDown because I think Jade will still be there and Bianca will be there, so that'll be a team that they can beat, even though they already don't squash them.
Well, if they won the tag titles, the champs can float anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah. We'll see. CM Punk. This is a no-brainer. Stays on Monday Night Raw. No-brainer. And the Creed brothers. They stay on Monday Night Raw with Ivy Nile as well. She stays on Monday Night Raw. That's Chad Gable and them and the Alpha Academy is on Raw. So we're going to get their storyline eventually with the Creeds teaming up with Chad Gable, becoming a new somewhat team angle type of deal. Mm-hmm. Damage Control.
I think they stay put.
I can see this going both ways, to be honest.
I don't think they're gonna split them. I think splitting them is stupid.
No, I don't think you should split them. I don't think you should.
Because Io she still can get that one-on-one match with Bayley.
Yeah.
At some point, so.
Yeah.
And then you still got one-on-one with Dakota. You can do one-on-one with Asuka and one-on-one with Kyrie at some point.
Yeah.
The story still write itself, so I would keep them on SmackDown.
Yeah, I'll keep them on SmackDown as well. Drew McIntyre, another no-brainer. Stay on Monday Night Raw. He's a Monday Night Raw headliner. He's the staple of Monday Night Raw, along with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. So you got to keep Drew McIntyre there. He's their top attraction. The Final Testament. I think they move over to Raw. Karrion Kross desperately needs a new facelift. Needs to get off of SmackDown.
I can see him being a good feud for Sami Zayn.
Yeah. I can also see him, like I said when they introduced the world title. I can see him as a future world champion, booked the right way. So I'll say Final Testament to Raw for sure. Imperium. I think they stay on Raw as a group. What about you?
I think they're splitting up Imperium. I think Gunther and Vinci are going to SmackDown. I mean Gunther and Kaiser, whatever, are going to SmackDown, and Vinci is probably going NXT maybe. No, I think he follows. I think he follows. I think they're going to SmackDown though. I don't see him staying on Raw. Just because I can see Cody versus Gunther is definitely a destination for SummerSlam. If I'm booking it. You need something to pass the time until Dwayne comes back or Roman comes back. Gunther's the man. Especially when he wins King of the Ring. King of the Ring got to mean something, so he may get an opportunity at SummerSlam or something. I'm more contender.
Okay.
That's what I'm booking.
Imperium, they tricky, man. This a tricky pick because I can see him going to SmackDown as well. I don't know, man. This is a fucking tricky one. I'll say Raw, man. I'll say they stay on Raw. I'll say they stay on Raw because you have the story. Even though the story can follow, but I'll say Raw because this 3-hour show and their story they're telling can fit better on that 3-hour show. The Judgment Day. No brainer.
No brainer. Champions on Raw.
Stay on Raw. Kate Carter, Katana Chance. I think they moved them. Yeah, I think they moved them to SmackDown.
Kevin Owens, no brainer.
Kevin Owens is tricky too.
Yeah, wherever the bloodline is, he's there.
Yeah.
And him and Randy Orton are quote unquote tag team, so he's staying on SmackDown.
Yeah, and Kevin Owens seemed to get moved every time they do a draft. So, and he just got the SmackDown
early
December or something, January or something like that.
Yeah, Jey Uso got traded.
So, Kevin Owens stays on SmackDown. LWO, not LWO, but Legado del Fantasma. I think they go to Raw. I think Santos, like seeing him last week on Raw, I like that show fits him.
He on Raw.
So I say they go to Raw. Naomi. I say
SmackDown.
You say SmackDown? I say
Jimmy
Raw.
Uso's still on SmackDown.
You say Jimmy Uso still on SmackDown?
Still on SmackDown. He ain't going nowhere. Unless the Bloodline invade Raw and attack his brother, but I don't see that happening yet. So
I don't know.
SmackDown because she's part of the Big Three. You got to remember that she's still with Cargill and
yeah.
Bianca still on SmackDown.
Let's keep Naomi on SmackDown because the Bloodline's over there, you still have the story with when Jimmy's going to return. So let's say Naomi stays on SmackDown. Yep. Natalya, I say she go to SmackDown too.
SmackDown.
You need somebody for Tiffany Stratton to beat. So Natalya goes to SmackDown. New Catch Republic. I got them heading to Monday Night Raw.
Nah, I'm keeping them on SmackDown.
I'll tell you why, but go ahead.
Wherever Gunther goes, they go.
Okay, so this is the reason why I got them on Raw, though. That's one of the reasons. 2 is because last week we got Karrion Kross and the Final Testament attacking them. Remember that backstage? Mm-hmm. So if Karrion Kross and them goes to Raw, New Catch Republic goes to Raw as well.
I mean, okay, probably, but
so that's why I got them going to Raw.
Well, I'm revamping SmackDown, so
yeah, for sure, I got you.
SmackDown. I don't think they need everybody, from England on Raw. I just think that we'll keep going. The New Day. They need to stay on Raw.
Okay, all right. We'll see tonight. The New Day. I say they go to SmackDown. Okay. New Day to SmackDown. They haven't done everything they need to do on Raw. Get them away from Imperium, please. Take them to SmackDown.
Okay.
Odyssey Jones. Now, I already told you what I thought about Odyssey Jones' pick last year. I feel like he should go back to NXT because he was better in NXT and on the main roster not using him. And eventually, we know what happens when you're not used on the main roster. I hate to use this example, but Cameron Grimes is one example. You could potentially end up on the free agency list. So I say for Odyssey Jones' sake, let him go back to NXT. Let him do his thing down there. You got the next spit, man. Pretty Deadly. That's their fucking name. Go ahead.
Pretty Deadly. I think they're going to Raw.
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw.
I agree with you. I can definitely see some segments with them and Awesome Truth being R-Truth is comedic and Pretty Deadly, you got comedic barbs here and there, so I can see that being a storyline. So Pretty Deadly goes to Raw. Shinsuke Nakamura.
I guess he stay on Raw. I don't want to see him and Cody on the same brand for a while.
Yeah.
we got a lot of that leading up to WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble. So
Yeah. If not Raw, I'll say NXT. But that's like a far reach. But I'll say NXT just for the sake of argument. Tegan Knox. This is one person I feel like they underutilize in the women's division. So I'll say one or two options. SmackDown, just to bolster women's division a little bit. If not, I'll say NXT just to have her do some runs down there and be featured in NXT. So that's what I would say.
Raw. I'm gonna say Raw.
Say Raw.
I mean, SmackDown's already beefy. I mean, just in the last two videos. Okay, so we got Mia Yim, Bianca Belair, Nia Jax. Who did we just say? What's her name? Tegan Knox, right? In your scenario, Tegan Knox, Naomi,
Tiffany Stratton. As of right now, we haven't got to her, but as of right now.
Then you move Cameron. What's her call it them?
Who?
SmackDown. Indy Hartwell them.
Yeah.
Indy Hartwell, that's 8, and then all damage control, that's 4. So that's what, 12. Yeah. 12 women already, and not to mention Charlotte because her husband on there, so that's 13.
Yeah. Let's finish out the roster.
Oh, and Kaden Carter and Tana Chance, yeah. So that's like 15.
Let's finish it out. Come on, we're gonna finish it out. Come
on. Yeah, I'm keeping her on Raw.
Okay. All right. Well, we got the faction and Pride. I'd say they stay on SmackDown, obviously because Bianca's on SmackDown now. So I think this is kind of a no-brainer pick. And you keep them away from the Final Testament. So Final Testament goes Raw, the Pride goes SmackDown. And Tiffany Stratton, like we just said, she stays on SmackDown to me. She just got there. So it's no-brainer.
LWO, they stay on SmackDown.
Yeah, they stay on SmackDown. And you know what's quite crazy when we talk about the Pride. Remember when they had them triple threat matches to determine who will be number one contender? Got like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I seen some shit where the Legado would have got into it with the Pride, but I guess they dropped that. So I guess Legado gonna be moving in the drive. All right. I think the last person we got is Jade Cargill, and I think she stays on SmackDown.
I agree.
All right. And let's go to our NXT portion, right? So for NXT, we got that's been drafted already. We got Kiana James. She went to Raw. Carmelo Hayes went to SmackDown. And was that the only 2 that was picked from NXT? Well, you didn't count Corbin. He went to SmackDown. That was it, right? From NXT, right? Okay, so in this pool, Dragunov. Where you got him going?
SmackDown with Gunther and Imperium and New Cat Republic.
Yeah. The answer to this question is wherever Gunther is, Dragunov is. So whether it's Raw or SmackDown, that's where Dragunov will be drafted to. When it comes to the women, I got a couple sleepers. I don't know how you feel about it. I got Blair Davenport moving up from NXT, and I think she should be on the Raw brand. I like her as a sleeper pick. That's why I was surprised when Kiana James got drafted on Friday. I was like, if anybody to get drafted from from NXT, I would expect it to be her. I expected it to be Davenport, like somebody who got some experience, who been over to New Japan and Indies, AEW, stuff like that, So like I was surprised when she didn't get drafted. So I'll be double shocked if she don't get drafted tonight. But I got her moving to Raw.
I think Gigi Dola and JC Jane are getting called up. Maybe one on each brand, probably. I would do Gigi probably on Raw and JC on SmackDown. Or call them up as a tag team. I know they ain't been doing the tag team thing, but I would do that to help bolster the bodies on the Raw side, really.
Okay.
If that, I mean, I would draft them up to Raw.
Okay. Okay. So Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, both on Raw.
Yeah, they've been down there too long.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Um, I can also see Lyra Valkyria moving. She already done pretty much all she can at this point. She lost the championship to Roxanne at Stand and Deliver. She just lost in the triple threat match. So
Right.
I think she should move. Now with all the moves we see, I think she should move to Raw too.
Yeah. I think Raw will probably get the majority of the women left from NXT.
Yeah.
And because SmackDown's already, I mean, it's already bolstered up. I mean, I don't see many of them moving. You know what I mean? So, and then I think maybe somebody like I don't see Dijak moving. I think he's staying down there. Um,
I can see Dijak moving. I can see him moving.
um, maybe somebody like Joe Coffey or something.
But you have to move them up at the trio though. They come together.
Who?
Joe Coffey now.
They might. We don't know.
Man, you don't know. We don't know.
Or maybe Oba Femi. No, I'm kidding.
Nah.
Whew. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, as far as NXT, that's all I can really see.
I can see Joe Gacy moving up.
Yeah.
He been down there for a while. So if he move up, I'll say probably Monday Night Raw, maybe.
I think he'll probably just be a body.
Yeah, just the body, yeah. Because I think you don't have whatever faction they want to call Bray Wyatt, the Uncle Howdy now, what they want to call him, the Wyatt Six or whatever. I think that faction to be on SmackDown. So you want to keep Joe Gacy away from that group because he's kind of trying to be the similar type of character as them. So you move him to Raw. But I think that's pretty much it when it comes down to NXT. Really, most of the people down there just need to stay down there and get more a little cooking in the oven. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure.
I think that's it, man. You don't cover the bases.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it'd be a lot more women from NXT moving up to the main roster than there will be men from NXT.
I think if Lyra did better as the champion, we would definitely see Roxanne move up, but we went back to Roxanne. Plus, we got Julia coming in, so
yeah. All right, we gonna get into the people we think gonna be free agents. Nola, you wanna look at the you know how to pop up in that camera like that, man. We gonna talk about the people who
Wesley. Yeah, I forgot. I did say Wesley.
He too far away from injury. I still see him as a redemption story in
cleared.
NXT. His job ain't finished.
Yeah, he cleared. I can see him moving up.
I don't know. Time will tell.
Mix it up in the mid card with Sammy. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, as a surprise, like I don't think like that's no main roster. All right, not just yet. I think he's still got a redemption arc in NXT. You know what I'm saying? So I think we hold out on that. We don't want to poach the talent from NXT too much. But I like your idea. But I think he had a better story christening in NXT though. That's just me personally. But he still haven't won a big one. He got the potential to win the big NXT championship. So that's why I think let's hold on for a minute. Potential free agents: Sonya Deville, Carmella. You said another woman. You said another woman superstar. I remember you just said. I can't remember. You said Nikki Cross. She'd be a free agent. Raquel Gonzalez. She'd be a free agent. That's pretty it for the women's side that I can think of, man. But I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be a good show. You got any lasting words, man? All right, man. If y'all enjoyed our drop predictions, y'all know what to do down below. You made it this far, you know what to do down below. And we will see y'all in the next video. Peace out, man.